Memecore price prediction: is the Meme 2.0 revolution just getting started? Memecore could change the way memecoins work in the crypto market forever. If you want to know why almost 97% of all memecoins fail, but Memecore aims to solve exactly that problem, then you're in the right place. In this video, I'll show you exclusively how proof of meme could trigger the next meme coin boom, and why you definitely shouldn't miss out on this opportunity. Welcome to 10x Crypto, your channel for honest, data-driven altcoin analysis. Memecore isn't just an ordinary memecoin, it's the first Layer 1 blockchain launched with the revolutionary proof of meme coin mechanism, aiming to make memecoins sustainable, measurable, and valuable. Technically, Memecore is based on an EVM-compatible Layer 1 blockchain that uses proof of meme, proof of stake, and combines it with proof of authority. This naturally ensures fast, scalable transactions with low energy consumption. The project addresses a serious problem. Almost 97% of all memecoins fail because they lack sustainable approaches and mechanisms. Memecore tackles this by directly rewarding the community for viral engagement and content creation through memevaults and viral grants. Current partnerships, for example with the Neo blockchain and important exchange listings on Binance, Kraken and BitJet, naturally strengthen the technical foundation and greatly increase the coin's reach. But why is this actually relevant for investors right now? Because the combination of an innovative consensus mechanism, real utility, and strong institutional backing naturally offers enormous long-term growth potential, far beyond simple hype. Before we dive into the in-depth analysis, grab yourself a coffee and leave a like for me. And if you want to find real altcoin gems early, then check out the 10x Elite. There you'll get insight into my portfolio and the 10x ranking list. I've analyzed 100 altcoins in my hidden gem radar. There I showcase low caps before anyone else knows about them. And you also get access to the 10x indicator. So if you want to move away from speculation and randomness and prefer to trade with strategies, data, and structure, then the 10x Elite is the next logical step. You can find all the information in the video description. But attention, a disclaimer, my channel is not financial advice but purely for informational purposes. Let's start with the market cap, as always. Approximately $2.59 billion US. In other words, it's a mid-cap but with massive potential. And the market capitalization shows how large and established the project already is. Despite its growth, Memecore is in an exciting growth market, with the opportunity to gain further market share. That's why in this area, a strong 7. Next, let's move on to the circulating supply. Only about 10.3% of the maximum tokens are in circulation. Of course, that's a massive dilution risk. However, 58% of the tokens are allocated to the community. Naturally, this has its advantages and disadvantages. In the long term, this can of course increase community engagement, but it also increases dilution pressure. That's why in this area only a 5. Next, let's move on to the roadmap. The roadmap is clearly defined through Q4 2025. So far, everything has been implemented on time, from the mainnet launch to major exchange listings. Here it definitely shows the project is well managed, it keeps its promises, and that's obviously important for trust and investor acceptance. They also had realistic milestones and predictable growth, a strong 8 in this area. With the team led by Yun, an experienced blockchain expert, Memecore has an experienced and competent core team. Visible team members also document their achievements here, which is of course another plus for credibility. A strong team is often a decisive factor for long-term project success. Here, a solid 7. Next point, the narrative. The project positions itself as Meme 2.0. In other words, a new era of meme coins that are meant to be sustainable and value-creating. The narrative naturally appeals to investors who are looking for more stability and long-term prospects. A strong, relevant narrative can of course also increase market presence and community engagement. Here's a strength 8. Next, what problem are they actually solving? 97% of meme coins fail within a year, often much sooner. Memecore addresses this problem with the proof of meme consensus algorithm. This mechanism rewards viral content and sustainable community engagement. Short-lived speculation is not encouraged by it. This could, of course, create a long-term stable ecosystem, but you still have to be careful. Still, a strong 8 in this area. Next, sustainability. Memecorp uses what's called delegated proof of stake and proof of authority, which are very energy efficient. The clear advantage over pure proof of work systems, energy efficiency is becoming increasingly important for investors and those who are environmentally conscious. A strong 7 in this area. Now let's move on to investors and capital. Strong VC backing. IBC Group and other renowned companies. This is how Memecore secures the necessary capital, of course. Capital security naturally also reduces project risks, which in turn strengthens trust. A strong 8. Now let's move on to the competition. Memecore competes with Solana, Ethereum, and other Layer 1 projects, as well as specialized meme launchpads. The competitive environment is extremely tough, but here Memecore with its proof of meme can definitely stand out. If you want to see more analyses, check out the playlist from the Scenics universe. I've already analyzed Solana and I've analyzed Ethereum as well. In this area, definitely only a 6 because of the strong competition. Next, marketing. Memecoin uses all relevant channels, social media, events, Korean Blockchain Week, everything. Targeted campaigns and a 700 million airdrop naturally ensure reach and engagement. A strong 7 in this area. Then how simple is the idea? With proof of meme, it's actually quite easy to understand. And it appeals to a broad target audience. That of course helps increase acceptance and is good for the growth of the community. A strong 8. Next, what about the long-term vision? Memecorp is planning multi-chain integration, then institutional adoption and cultural anchoring over the years. That's a clear vision for the future and shows sustainable growth potential. A strong 8. Then there's Defilotsonaire, a hard cap, as mentioned, of 10 billion tokens with gas fees and staking. This naturally provides stability, because being deflationary protects against inflation and long-term devaluation. In this area, it's more of a solid 6. Next, the fully diluted market capitalization. At 9.64 times the market cap, it's healthy, but it also shows a risk of dilution. Here it's a solid 7. So what about the volume? 0.62% daily trading volume is rather low compared to the market cap. That's definitely something to watch out for. Only a 4 here. Next, token distribution. The distribution was fair at 58% because the 58% community share is good. And the vesting periods, meaning the lockup periods, are quite long. Of course, that minimizes dump risks and also creates transparency. A solid 7 here. Let's move on to the top coin holders. More than 5,800 holders, no strong concentration in just a few wallets. That's a moderate risk for whale manipulation. And for a newcomer chain, that's within the normal range. A solid 6 here. So how many are there? The real use cases are gas fees, staking, governance, meme vaults, and a creator economy. That of course sets Memecoin apart from purely speculative coins, especially in the meme coin sector. That's why it gets a strong 8. Now let's move on to the community. They have an engaged community on Twitter, Telegram, and Reddit, but also on YouTube and TikTok. That naturally strengthens the network effects. Are you yourself a holder of Memecore or a fan? Write it in the comments so others become aware of these kinds of analyses, these data-driven analyses. Here too a strong 8. So what's coming up in terms of events? A cost stack listing, multi-chain expansion, and further institutional partnerships are planned for the next 12 months. These catalysts could of course increase the value. Extremely important. A strong 8. Memecore is actually a project with real potential. It has a good rating in the mid-cap range and offers real use cases through its innovative proof of meme consensus. The tokenomics are strong, the roadmap is clear, and the competition is, of course, not that strong, at least within the meme coin narrative. But with 71.4%, you're not positioned super strongly here either. On my 10 times ranking list, it's more in the solid range, despite the strong developers, good partnerships, and sustainable solutions. The proof of meme mechanism, on the other hand, is a game changer in the meme coin market. Memecore is definitely an altcoin that's extremely exciting because it's unique. There's nothing like this on the market yet in terms of opportunity, and that's why it's definitely worth putting it on your watch list to be part of the Meme 2.0 revolution. Before we get into the price prediction, if you're interested in altcoins and want to trade them, then I recommend my crypto exchange. You'll also get a welcome bonus there. Extremely interesting for you why I find the stock market so good. I've linked the tutorial above. And you can find all the information in the pinned comment. Simply register and secure your bonus. Let's move on to the price forecasts. Bear scenario. If the market cools down and Memecore cannot keep up its development pace, then we will see more moderate price movements. Then the price would probably be around 1.5 to 3.5 US dollars. Let's move on to the normal scenario. If there is steady growth, increasing adoption, and Memecore establishes itself as a major player in the Meme 2.0 sector with rising market dominance, then 5 to 10 US dollars could be possible. Now let's look at the optimistic scenario. If Memecore experiences a real boom driven by viral effects, a stronger community, and strategic partnerships. Here, 15 to a maximum of 25 US dollars could theoretically be mathematically possible. Now let's move on to the extremely optimistic scenario. Does Memecore emerge as a dominant layer 1? A player for meme coins with significant institutional interest, backing and global adoption? Then 30, maybe even 40 US dollars would be possible. So what does the Vision 2030 tell us? First comes the bear market, then the next bull market. We're talking about a decentralized meme coin economy here, in which the mainstream is firmly established. In other words, Memecore will be the leader of the Meme 2.0 revolution. Here they could keep up with titans from the crypto sector and might reach $100 to $150. That's what my chart analysis says now, but let's look at the current situation. Let's take a look at that now. Hello and welcome to my chart analysis of Memecore. First, as always, a quick note, I use TradingView and a custom developed indicator. It actually shows you two things. For one, we basically have a red dot. That means, for example, if a lot of people are buying now, so we're entering a hype phase, how else would you know when the top might be? At least with my indicator here, you can see that we're in overbought zones. That's already a sign that, okay, we might have reached a top point, or a correction could be imminent. On the other hand, for example, if a lot of people are selling now, then we enter oversold zones here. Then a large green dot would appear here. That would mean we're now oversold. For me, that would mean, okay, now I should start thinking about whether we're maybe in a good zone to enter. Then we have the small dots, which basically indicate trend reversal. In other words, a small green dot means a bullish trend reversal. A small red dot means a bearish trend reversal. What does it look like for Memecore at the moment? We saw that this was the launch at least on Maxi. If we take a look at it now, they have risen almost 66 times, so over 6,000% upwards. Those were some massive gains if you had gotten in right at the beginning, which is usually quite difficult. In any case, we can also see that we don't have too much data yet. We had a red dot appear here because we were slowly entering overbought zones. And now we've gone down. But it hasn't dropped that massively yet. We're still just about to be back in the overbought area. A small red dot has also formed, which could indicate a bearish trend reversal. So at the moment, I would actually be rather cautious with Memecore because the data shows we're about to enter overbought zones. Therefore, when I would actually get into Memecore or altcoins, for example, or if you want to do your own database analysis and use the 10x indicator yourself, you can get it as part of my 10x Elite as long as you're a member, but you can also just get the indicator separately. All the information is in the video description, right in the first two links. But before you go, I have another exciting altcoin for you right now that you shouldn't miss, and I'll explain why this altcoin even surprised me. All of that now in this complete analysis with price scenarios. Enjoy watching and see you in a moment.